Hello, worker bees! So, I've had a lot of requests on providing an art tutorial. There's a lot of beginner artists that are interested in learning how to draw from me. So I whipped up this super quick, super easy arts tutorial. It's not professional by any means. It just basically explains how I do arts. And grab your drawing tablets and let's go. Okay, so when you're starting off as an artist, it's pretty hard to you're just staring at a white piece of paper, so you have no idea where to start. So this is just a handy dandy tool for starting out. I wouldn't recommend doing this for the rest of your life because, you know, it's not going to be as constructive, but just for starting out and learning how to draw, go to Google and then search up art, reference, and then what kind of pose you want. So I'm going to go with cute. And then I found a quick one online. And then I'm gonna copy and paste. And this is the reference that we're gonna work with. So turn the opacity to 10% so that it's more of a guideline. And we're gonna start, I usually start with the eyes. I do not recommend tracing at all. It is better to just draw over than draw directly on the lines when you're using an art reference. People can tell if it's traced, and tracing is, if you're starting out, then it's okay, but if you're using it for commission pieces or something, it's very not okay. So this is just a way of knowing where to place the face and the eyes, basically. First, draw a concave or a semicircle, and this will start as the roof of your eye. Then you want to draw a little line underneath it. It's not going to be as long, and it's not going to be as curved, and this is going to be the base of your eye. Well, actually, then you can start drawing sort of a circle, connecting the two pieces together. It's not gonna be as curved either. It's more like a semicircle, sort of obtuse. It's like if a rectangle ate too much. So this is sort of the eye shape that you're gonna go for. And now I'm gonna quickly add the detail of the eye. This is basically just this is just a regular structure, but from here on you can add make it cute by adding a sort of a demure eye shape, or you can make it cool by adding some long eyelashes, or you can make it manly by making it more angular. There's a lot of ways you can go, but this is basically the basic eye shape and what you'll be going with for creating characters. Okay, so here is my eyeball so far. The eyeball to our left ended up being a little too tall, so you could just grab your lasso tool and move it downward. Take a look. Honestly, sometimes it's really good to just get up from your seat, come back, and then look at it and see if it looks weird or not. Because when you're in the zone, you're like, oh, this looks great. But then if you need sometimes if you just need a look from an outside perspective, ask a friend, if it looks a little odd, then you can always just come back. Now is the best time to edit it because it's in the sketch phase, but when you start coloring it's a little bit more wonky, so I would recommend doing all your changes now in the sketch phase. I'm just adding little details that I enjoy, but by all means keep it as simple or as complex as you'd like it to be. And then when I'm doing sketches, I always cut the eye in half, and this will be sort of a guideline for the shade of the eye. Usually eyeballs are not one color. Just don't make a habit of only using art references. Always try to learn at your own pace, because the best way to draw is just to practice and just to find your own footing in the art world. So we're gonna move on to the hair. What I like to do is draw, so I'm gonna mark I'm gonna mark our focal point, and this is the top of the head. Like, you know how you like draw like a little X on eggs to like know where the top is? This is basically we have our egg, but we need to know the focal point, so we draw it at the top of the head or wherever the head is. Like if it were a head like looking downward, like this person is looking downward, then the X would be like closer here. Or like if we're getting a really top shot, like completely on top of this person, and their little faces here, then you draw the X right here. So for sketching hair, it depends on the texture of hair, but the most important thing to know is that you want to draw your lines sort of going towards the focal point that you've marked, and this will add so much to your drawings, and just the flow of hair itself will just be so much more natural. So these bangs will be flowing towards the center, and this is basically just such an easy way of drawing, cause like for lines that are further apart, you want to do more of a curve, but like for hair that is closer to our line of sight, you don't really have to curve it that much. But let's say you're drawing a dude. Well, how do you draw a dude, right? I mean, same rules basically apply for a dude, but their hair will be a little bit more quirky, I guess. So let's just say this is an androgynous person. It depends on the type of hair that you're drawing. This is just like a regular boy cut that I'm doing. And then I like to add like a little bit of space between the reference sheet and the actual hair that I'm drawing, because this is like, hair isn't just like taped on, it has fluff to it, so that's why I'm drawing two little bumps that come from the focal points, and then they're gonna descend downward. We got a little basic boy cut. And if you want to make it anime boy, you just add little swoops, like a avalanche or like a ski, and then it'll look like a anime boy. So for clothes, it's an entire different story, but you want to sort of imagine yourself in those clothes. Honestly, my best advice is sometimes using myself as an art reference. Like, I imagine myself wearing it, or I imagine myself doing, like, I will literally take photos of my hand doing the pose that I want for my art, and then just draw it. Flip the photo and then use it as an art reference. It is honestly so helpful. So, like, if this person was wearing a regular shirt, right? I just imagine, what do I look like with a shirt? And then I draw. It's like a shirt is not loose, so it would be pretty close to the art reference. This is pretty close. Like, I like to imagine the art reference as the body. So this is the plain old body, right? Obviously, it's not gonna be like super tight on like latex. So I like to draw a little bit of space above the actual lines. See, the clothes have curves too, so you want to add a little bit more for like places where it's gonna crease. And then you just want to close that off. This is an androgynous person. I was originally gonna draw a girl, but then like I added the boy cut, so like might as well just be a non-binary baddie. So we're not gonna add the boobies. And then obviously do the thing of looking back on it and seeing like, does it look kind of weird? And right now it's looking kind of weird for me. So I'm just gonna add more fluff to the hair, so it doesn't look as odd. And sometimes for sketches like this, you can add like shading. I usually like to do like a little cross or like a bunch of stripes. I mean a bunch of lines, but some people like to do like a crisscross. I'm just gonna keep it simple. And this basically just indicates like, where do you want the shadows to be? And you know, he looks kind of, or they look kind of happy, so I'm gonna add some blush. Maybe add some detail in the hair. These are like little hair details that I like to add. It goes around the perimeter, like it's sort of like imagine the head like a globe, and this is like the little shine that goes on it. And this basically will indicate to you like where you want the hair shine to be. And yeah, this is my simple art tutorial for anybody who wants to become a beginner artist. This, you can either just keep it as a sketch, or use this as a baseline for rendering it later. Right now this is just the sketch phase, and this will be used later for actually going over with the line art and then the rendering. I will make a video on how to line art, I'll make a video on how to render it, but this is basically this is just a simple sketch. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to check out my other channel, feel free to check out my other videos, and check out my Twitch where I do art live. Also play some video games. Leave a comment if you enjoyed it, and I will be extra motivated to make my part 2. But for now, this is how to sketch as a beginner artist. Bye bye!